Level Up Books. So today I wanted to do this review. I've been trying to get this review out forever, so now I'm like, it's breezy. Let me go out on my patio. Let me put my glasses on and let me do this review for you guys. So today we are going to talk about the 9 Laws of Success. Stormy Wellington. This book was everything. First, let's get into the technical details of the book for people who have a certain way that they like to read and receive information. This is not a how-to book. This is not a tips book. This is not a what to bank to go to get loans from. It's not one of those kind of books. It's also not necessarily a touchy-feely spiritual manifestation kind of book. It's kind of in between. This is really a mindset book, okay? So it's a lot of theory in here. It's a lot of mindset, but I'm going to tell you why that is probably the most important book that you need to read right now. Okay, so this is by Stormy Wellington, and she is the best-selling author and speaker. Now, if you don't know who she is, let me just go back. Let's back it up. She is one of those people who sells tea. Okay, and I'm putting it that way. This is no disrespect to her. I love her. I don't even know this woman, but I love her, and I'm putting it that way because a lot of people judge, and a lot of people think, come on, girl, y'all still selling tea? How are you making money at this? But this woman has gotten into the nucleus of sales. She is showing you that if you work it, it will work, and that's what I love about her. Okay, really rough background that she came from. She has an inspirational story. I love to hear her talk because when she talks, you can hear New York and you can hear Atlanta, which is fantastic. But as far as going back to the nuts and bolts of the book, this is published by Abundant Press, which is a good idea to do if you are trying to write something that is going to be lasting and inspirational. Because when you use a small publisher, they really get the job done. This is not going to be a self-written book. This is not something where she came off the cuff. This is a very well-written book, and I really appreciate her putting this out. So she goes into her journey. She goes into her success. It goes up to about 141 pages. Okay, she has a lot of different resources in here. She drops a lot of names in here. The one thing that I do love about her book that is just an amazing touch is she has a lot of quotes in between. Okay, so now if you watch my video, worst level up books, one of the things that I hate about level up books is writing a pamphlet. This is a real book that Stormy is giving us, okay? Like, this is a real book. There is meat and potatoes in this book. This is a very well written book. So shout out to Stormy Wellington, okay? Like, you are a G. So she did extremely well with this, and her imagery on the book is absolutely beautiful. Okay, she invites you to join her Facebook group. She tells you what she does to make her money, and this is one of the things that a lot of what they call network marketers, we used to call it pyramid schemes, or selling tea, selling Melaleuca, Mary Kay, think in that kind of vein. She takes you out of that mindset and she shows you how this can be a real business model for you. That's what I love. Okay, so she took something and she worked it. All right, now getting into the 9 laws of success. If you look at the chapter, she has an introduction, and they go all the way up to chapter 18. She starts with the 7 pillars first, then she goes into the 9 laws. So basically, what she's breaking down to you is a mindset, and that is so important. Now, why is a mindset book more important than a skills or techniques book? Because anybody can do a technique, become successful for 5 seconds, and fail. Anybody can have, millions and millions of dollars. You see lottery winners do it all the time. You get a windfall, you put your money into something that doesn't work. Why? Because it's not about technical skills. The people who are making millions and millions of dollars are not even that intelligent. Okay, if you look at an IQ scale, you have a lot of actors, you have a lot of doctors who are a lot smarter, you have a lot of philosophers who are a lot smarter than people who have made billions and billions of dollars. Why? Because it's a whole mindset that's going on there. Okay, so the first pillar, be aware of who you are. She's really getting you to look inward. Okay, be transformed, celebrate small successes. I know a lot of times we want the $1 million right away, but the reality of the situation is that even if you got $1 million today, it wouldn't be $1 million because you get taxes taken out. So what you have to understand is mindset, right? Money has to take time to be made, and it has to take time to grow. All right. So appreciation versus expectations, the win formula: be kind, fight. Those are the 7 pillars, and then she goes into the laws of success. Now she mentions Grant Cardone. You see, she's on Instagram with a lot of pictures of Elena Cardone, and you know she is very much into hard work. There's a quote right here in the beginning. It's got a dream. I've got a dream that's worth more than my sleep. I've got a dream that's worth more than my sleep by Eric Thomas. So she puts that right in the front, just letting you know that is going to be hard work. This is not if you follow this woman on Instagram, okay, she gets up, she does her lives, she is dressed to the nines, her body is on point, okay, she works out with you on Instagram. This is the type of person who is showing you that when you change your mind, you change your money, okay? And so mindset goes into how you live your life, your habits, right? You hear a lot of people talk about habits. If you follow any of the level up gurus, if you follow any of the prosperity gurus, they tell you right off, it's a mindset that we're talking about here. This is not about wigs and shoes. This is not about makeup. This is not about a full beat or jewelry. This is about a mindset. And if you hit that right mindset, if you get the tools that you need to get it into your mind, anything you do will be successful. There was a time in America where people were selling pet rocks. There was a time in the world where people were selling pieces of the Berlin Wall. And y'all can't sell tea. You can't sell your boutique. You can't sell your books. You can definitely do it. And this is why I love this book. Stormy writes so many nuggets in here. Okay? Let me read an excerpt. In your mind is where thoughts are born. And thoughts lead to feelings, and feelings lead to actions, and actions lead you to results. I mean, it's right there for you. It's right here for you in black and white. Again, well-written book, definitely meat and potatoes. I suggest having this as a must read. This is not just for black women. This is not just for women. This is for anybody who is wanting prosperity. This is for anybody who is looking for what the formula is, you know, like how do you make it work? How do you keep going? Because another thing that I've noticed is that people often have setbacks when they are launching their businesses. They often have setbacks in their road to success. But the reality of the situation is that's part of the journey. That's what happens. Even the wealthiest people. Gary Vee just got on a live a few days ago talking about how he wanted to do, I think, a hedge fund or something that cost millions and millions of dollars. Like he had raised $10 million, decided he didn't want to do it, and gave back like $7 million. So he lost $1 or $1.5 million on this deal. If I remember the story correctly, it was something in that vein. Millions of dollars was lost. That's the point. And now you're thinking to yourself, all right, Gary Vee, very successful person, right? Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone. Who else can we think of? Tony Robbins. You see people who are very successful, and then when they show clips of them doing it at 20 years old, you're like, dang, he's been doing this his whole life. So it's not something that's going to happen to you overnight. It didn't happen to her overnight. She goes into how she grew up. She goes into losing her mom. She goes into being in financial stress, you know, and just going through a lot of changes. And this is just such a helpful read. I can't tout this book enough. You must get this book. So here's what I want you guys to do. Practice self-discipline, okay? Click the link in my bio, go to Amazon, and put in Stormy Wellington. All of her books that she has written is going to pop up. I want you to get the 9 Laws of Success. And if you like this video, share it. If you are looking for more level up books, I want you to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video when I review another book that is going to blow your mind. You don't want to miss this next book. I promise you. This next book that I'm going to review is a best kept